Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of News Report with Zyori and Hyper. And today we have +1. Mr. Keyori is joining us to share a little bit of British insight in this fine Saturday morning, afternoon, pending where you are in the world. Josh, we're not going to start with you today. Keyori, how you feeling, my friend?
I feel so honored. Yeah, I'm feeling good today.
Glad to hear it. It should be very exciting. Josh and I are very excited to finally have a guest on this show. As we were mentioning in our little pre-show, we agree with each other far too often. So it'll be nice to have a bit of variety. Josh, how about you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. Getting ready for Super Bowl. Waking up still and ready to play some League.
Woo! The Super Bowl! All right! Doesn't get more American than that, Josh. Nothing like cheeseburgers and wings and a bunch of overgrown monsters arguing over an oblong-shaped ball. It's fun.
I wish we could watch that over here. We don't get any coverage whatsoever.
So you don't even get to watch the Super Bowl?
Nope.
That's heresy.
That sounds like a travesty.
It's really sad. It is because, like, you know, I'm not a fan of American football, but like for a big event, I want to be able to see what the hype's about. But
yeah, well, the best part is really the commercials. I mean, all of these companies make custom commercials just for the Super Bowl because it's so widely watched. I think it's the biggest watched event in the world. I remember when my friends were doing a semester abroad in Paris. They were able to watch it in Paris. So I don't know. It's probably on some obscure channel that nobody cares about.
I'm gonna look for it, and I probably won't even have like access to the channel. But I'll have a look for it.
I'd really like to watch it with British commentary. I think that would be badass.
I have no idea what's going. Like, isn't this rugby? Just with weird rules.
Isn't this rugby? So we have a lot of stuff to talk about this week, guys. Of course, we weren't here last week. I was on vacay in Florida doing a little R&R, and of course, luck be have it, that's a week when we had a lot of interesting news. Before we queue up here, we're going to delve right into the world of the stock market. Josh, keep it sweet, keep it short. What are we doing in the market this week?
Yeah, well, while we were off, Apple had their earnings report, and it wasn't so good, so they tanked. But like the whole stock market in general has just gone to new heights, and this has been the trend during January. I wish I could show you a chart, because January has just been like green day after green day after green day, and Dow Jones, the one you like, is out now over 14,000 points. Yeah, and so the big question is stuff going to pull back, or is it just going to keep going higher?
That's a very good question. You know, I actually was in the bathroom the other day, and I picked up my, not an iPhone, I guess it's my iTouch that just kind of sits there. There's an iHome docking station in there. And I pulled up the stock thing, and the last value that was stuck in the cash, the S&P, or I guess it was which is the one at 1400? You just said
Dow.
The Dow, yeah, that's it, Dow Jones. It was at like 11 instead of 14. I was like, wow, it's been a while since I used this thing. What the recovery, it just got me thinking, like exactly what you were just talking about. Everything's been greenlining, not only just recently, but we've made a recovery.
Yeah, definitely. January's just been amazing ever since whatever the fiscal cliff ended.
Fiscal cliff.
It's just gone through the roof.
Luckily, we didn't drive off the cliff.
Yep. Well, we delayed it.
Yeah.
At least part of it.
Yeah, that bill just came out to increase the debt ceiling again so that we don't default on our debts in the middle of this month.
Increase the debt ceiling 3 months, yeah.
So, Keyori, are there ever bills in your country where you guys are just pondering raising the debt ceiling, the maximum amount your country can borrow, is being like, you know what, guys, we haven't borrowed enough. We need to borrow a little bit more. Is this okay? Does that ever happen?
I think we're pretty fine. I think we're pretty strong as a country. When it comes to like borrowing money, I really don't think we're in like a huge amount of.
But I mean, what a ridiculous thing. We've borrowed as much. We've maxed out our credit cards, and now we're just trying to decide if we want to raise that limit a little bit more. It's just it's wacko.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where to begin with it, really, if I'm honest. Like, all I ever hear about is how America's in huge amounts of debt, and it just seems ludicrous that they're like, oh, we can't be too bad. Let's just keep going.
Well, Josh, I want to ask you, I can't remember the guy's name, but there's one guy that predicted the housing bubble just about spot on with the timing and all that kind of stuff. And that same guy has just put out a book that is some big doomsday thing saying with all of this spending, it's eventually going to going to crash, and it's going to make the housing market crash look like, you know, just this little speck on our timeline compared to what's going to come. And of course, it's doom and gloom, doomsday stuff. I'm sure he wants to sell a couple of books, but do you know what I'm talking about? I saw it on Google News.
I don't know the exact. There are a bunch of people that predicted this stuff. It's just that no one wanted the news to get released to the public because that would cause panic, and then you would have disaster times like 10. So I do know Paul Krugman was a famous like Nobel Prize winner economist that predicted a bunch of stuff, and he was the one that originally like thought of the $1 trillion coin. But as far as specific person, I'm not sure who. And now we're picking.
Josh, we need jungle and support. That's all we've got, so we're not going to be able to go together. Which are you looking for? I could play Blitz. Show them what's good.
And ready
Okay,
to serve.
All right,
good.
Chin Chow, good stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. It is a little bit scary though when you're talking about raising the debt ceiling. That just I don't know. Red flags are starting to come out onto the field, Josh, and I don't know what it's going to take for folks to notice on any meaningful level, I suppose. But let's go ahead and break straight into the articles. We got a lot of news articles to talk about this week, and of course we have another voice, so hopefully we can not get hung up. And Keyori, as we get distracted in the games, feel free to keep us on track. As we tunnel vision in fights, we tend to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my eagle eye, but the only problem is I'm watching on the stream, so I've got quite a bit of like I don't know, maybe 10 seconds of delay.
Okay, well don't worry, you'll hear it in our voices.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and start off here with Apple. Of course, the big thing in the news, we just mentioned it, their stock price has plummeted. They've wiped out about $50 billion worth of market capital. It sounds like a big number, but I guess that's just normal stock market lingo. But they've dropped 10% since their earnings report. What happened, Josh? I guess nobody's buying up the iPhones.
Yeah, there's just disappointment and what basically everyone's expecting. So, like, their stock market tanked as a result of it. So, I don't know, everyone's questioning now is like, who's the CEO of Google right now? It's Paul something, I think. But they're all questioning basically the CEO, or Cook. But they're questioning like whether you can take Apple in the right direction and do what Steve Jobs did for the company and grow the company. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about growth. At this point with these huge companies like Apple, why their stock price would just soar to new heights year after year after year.
Right.
It's because they just kept growing the iPhone sales, the iPad sales.
Yep. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize about those kind of big companies, where their stock prices drop based on their growth declining. When those companies are in trouble, they're still making a lot of money. It's well, in a lot of cases, they're not really in bankruptcy or anything like that. But from the investor perspective, they're kind of scared if their growth is starting to shrink. The question with Apple is, what's the next big step? I know Colbert did that cute little bit where he took all of his Apple products, and like the iPad, the iPod Mini, your extra large iPhone, and he's got like 10 of them all the way down to the Shuffle. He's like, and I got them all for free to show how ridiculous it is. Like they have basically the same product, just in a million variations and sizes to maximize and squeeze every dollar out of that technology they can. What's the next step? What can they do? They've milked this whole iPhone, iPad, touch and screens thing about to the max.
That is literally all Apple do. It's like, oh, here's our same product, a little bit smaller, 1 millimeter smaller. Guys shouldn't go out and pay like $500 for it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And it's amazing how people buy the marketing. They go, wow, yeah, look at these apps. It works on the iPhone, the iPad, the iPad Mini. It's great. It's so compatible. It's like, well, that's because it's exactly the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
But on a different screen. The iPad doesn't. It's just a big iPhone. I mean, you got an iPhone, bro. The Apple people are crazy. Every so often you go to the airport, you see that guy that's all Appled out. He's got the iPod, He's got his Apple laptop, got the Apple tattoo, Apple headband. Then he's got the iPad, and then he pulls out his phone. And you're like, dude, come on. I've seen him. Josh, this might be an easy win here. 5v4. We're going to pick on him anyway.
Oh, man, we're pick on him. Yeah.
They've got a Heimerdinger, so I'm pretty sure you've got this in the bag.
I've been seeing more and more Heimerdingers out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know
he got a buff this patch where his cooldown does not have a cooldown anymore, so it's ready to be active at any point.
So he's not totally awful?
Well, he's still bad. Like, his mechanics just don't fit the game whatsoever. I mean, like, in my latest video, we had this Heimerdinger who played Heimerdinger the way he should be played. Like, he sat at the back and he was really passive, but at the same time, he was like, I can't really explain. He was securing points that he could help with, but he wasn't like jumping into fights and you know, being free feed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as far as Heimerdinger goes, he's not a great champion.
Poor Heimerdinger. We're going to try something different today. The way I have the overlays set up, as you can see, Keyori, I usually switch it to the in-game, but I didn't set up your, like, just specifically the in-game camera. But I didn't really make you a spot, and I kind of like having the splash. It's cute. I like what we're going with here. So I want to ask you guys, though, what do you think the next step for Apple is? What are they going to move into? I mean, where can they go? They've lost Steve Jobs. They've lost their chief innovator. What would you like to see from Apple?
Well, I know something they're working on. The next big iPhone or iPad is the iTV. Is their Apple TV that
we have I don't think they'll be able to call it ITV. We have like a pretty big channel over here called ITV.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, that is that's their thing. Oh wait, do we not have a mid? Is he AFK? Uh-oh.
Oh no. Lux, wake up!
Okay, I'll go mid, I guess, after I kill this blue guy.
Mid with Smite, I love it. You go, Josh.
Oh, mid against Heimerdinger. Oh my god.
Heimerdinger versus Smite Xin Zhao.
No, you'll be fine. You're Xin, you just jump on him, dead.
Well, there's nobody bottom right now, so...
First game of the day. Yeah.
We're winning. All right, great. We may have to play a Dominion after this one. So, you're right. Apple TV is one of their next things that they've been talking about. They were talking about that at CES. Oh, bugger. I don't know much about it, though. I don't think they've released much about it.
No, they really haven't. I thought in the book of Steve Jobs, in the biography of Steve Jobs, they said like that was his last thing that he was working on.
The TV?
Before he died. Yeah, it was the TV.
Okay. Well,
so yeah, we'll have to see what they come out with, because I don't think too much details have like come out about it, or like even a release date.
Not that I've heard. That's been one of those things where they're kind of like, oh hey, look, we found a picture of one. Let's analyze it. Like they do it with the Blackberries. BlackBerry 10, we found a picture of it in a trash can. Like.
Oh, the Blackberries. Have you seen the eBay auctions for BlackBerry, the new BlackBerry?
No, how much are
Going
they?
for like $1,000, like $1,800.
Why are they so much?
I don't know.
Are they in like? Are they hard to get? Are they sold out everywhere?
I think they sold out in Great Britain. I think.
Oh wow.
I thought I read an article that said they were sold there, and they're just crazy eBay auctions out right now.
Well, it's really weird. You have your map on the other side. So I keep going to look at the map and just look at
yeah. Oh yeah. It's kind of covered by this overlay. Oh man, that's sort of obnoxious. So, what would you say, Keyori, based on your purely biased and small sample? Are Blackberries popular in the UK? Do most people have iPhones or Droids, or no smartphone?
Like, when I was in college, like 2 years ago, everyone and their mom had a BlackBerry, and like just everyone was like, "Oh yeah, BlackBerry's so good. It's got BBM." But then people kind of figured out that BBM is just texting. Like,
yeah.
Like I used to sit there, and all these people had like BBMs, and I just had like a run-of-the-mill phone, and like I wasn't on like the 3G or whatever, and everyone would just be like, "Oh, why don't you get a BlackBerry so we can BBM?" I'm like, you can text me right now. Like, I don't need to spend that amount of money so that you can text me specifically on that. And I think everyone kind of started figuring it out. A lot of people have iPhones, but yeah, as you said, no one really bought the iPhone 5. I think people are starting to wise up that there is no point in spending.
I have an iPhone 5. I just bought one.
I have an iPhone 5.
I bought one like at Christmas time. No, I mean I got it cheap though with an upgrade. I got it for like $200, which isn't bad.
See, like I got my Windows phone for free on my contract. I don't know if you guys can have that in America. Like when we get a contract on our phone, usually the phone comes free.
Usually not free. It's usually like what the iPhone 5 is like $500, and I got it for $200. It's severely discounted, but.
Yeah, well, I went into the store and I was like, I was looking to get an iPhone, and I don't know why, but I was like, I'm gonna get onto this whole like using Facebook on my mobile and stuff thing. And the dude in the store was like, you don't want to buy an iPhone like he was like, iPhones are just gonna plummet, and he was like, the Windows Phone is the future. I had a look at this Windows Phone, and you know what? Like, all the contacts sync with my Facebook and Skype contacts. Everything is in one, and I'm like, this is the best phone I probably could have gotten, especially for me.
Josh has had high hopes for the Windows Phone.
I do. It's because everyone uses
um,
the Windows operating system.
Don't ward that bush. Don't ward that. Oh, you went and warded that bush. Okay, so never ever ward that bush that you just warded. The one just outside of the river. Try and ward between the dragons so that you can have vision of dragon, but also the slope going into their blue.
Mm-hmm.
That will give you vision a lot earlier for ganks.
Oh, okay. I just like being able to see the bushes.
Yeah, well, if you're paying attention to the map, if you ward the dragon area, not only do you have vision of the dragon, but you also will see them instantly when they're coming to gank.
I think we both know that I don't pay a lot of attention to the map.
Yeah, no. Very hard tunnel visioning.
I know what you mean, though. Yeah, I don't know why I always put it there, and like Gina always yells at me also, so maybe I should start paying more attention.
You should see our looks came back.
Oh, great.
It's level 2 versus Lee Sin.
Well, Lee Sin.
Because Heimerdinger just went off to the jungle, I think, to train.
Alright, well, I guess that means we're not that far behind. They still have a level 1 Warwick, so it could be worse. It could be worse, I suppose. So, alright, enough about Apple and their shitty iPhones. I've got the iPhone 5. I kind of like it. You're not going to talk me out of it. Let's talk about North Korea, because, of course, the UN is also a big deal in the UK as much as it is here in the States, I would say. Josh, what's been going on with North Korea and their crazy missiles?
They've just basically been like threatening they're going to start testing, and they've threatened the U.S. and yeah, they said that we're carrying out tests, and they're specifically aimed at the U.S. at the long-range missile that's capable of hitting the U.S.
Yeah, and that was like a direct quote that came from their government. It's pretty scary. If that's true. Now, this particular launch, I believe, was not really meant to be a missile, but this was space exploration. They were launching a satellite, I believe, correct? This particular launching that made the news that they were talking about?
I know that's the excuse they said before.
Well, I mean, they do need satellites. As a country, I mean, they do need to put stuff out. I mean, I would be tempted to... It's killing two birds with one stone, you know? Rockets that go into space and rockets that fly halfway around the world really aren't that different. They're both rockets. Yeah, I do know they've said that before. I'm not sure if that was this time or it's the same case as this time. But yeah, I know for sure they've used that excuse. Or the U.S. has said they're doing it, and really they're just launching, like you said, another satellite. So I did read something, an American article talking about it, that said, you know, some people are saying this is actually a good thing, because now we're going to be able to see if they actually are a threat. You know, is this thing going to make it? You know, if it's a satellite, we can see it and sort of have some idea of its progression and where it's going. And also, of course, just if it crashes and burns, that may be some insight that North Korea is really not as technologically as advanced as they could be. I don't know about that. I mean, I saw their rocket didn't crash, so I guess that's good news for them. Yeah, I thought this time, because I know China's been stepping up too, actually, to make sure that Korea doesn't do anything crazy, because it's not good. Yeah. China's been a big influence in North Korea, and recently I know North Korea sided with Iran, I think, because of a whole Middle East conflict that's going on between Syria, Israel, and Iran. Syria is the one that's basically in civil war right now with the rebels and everything that no one wants to go to war with officially because of how much resources it'll take from the UN and everything. Oh god. Die, Lee Sin. Ash, why are you not hitting him? Ash, why are you so bad? I slowed him, Ash. No, I didn't slow him. I slowed him, Ash. He was in the bush. Okay. Oh my lord. We did not deserve those kills, Keyori. Yeah, she went through. Oh no! Oh no! He flashed. Oh. So, okay, so one killed on the owner. Could have been worse. It could have been worse. Does she get the double? Can she get the double? Nope. No, the double flash comes out. A triple flash. Did they? Got the kill. Whoa. What is this bullshit? Sightstone's now 950. Keyori, what gives?
It's actually really good because it means you can buy some early HP and then build it into a Sightstone and then build it into the Ruby Sightstone. So
Oh,
they gave it HP.
yeah, it gives you just a little bit more HP, survivability in lane, and it really makes up for the item they took out the game after Season 2, the Heart of Gold, which was roughly the same cost. It built from a Ruby Sightstone, but it was also a GP10 and gave you armor. And I gave you health. And then, yeah.
So what do you think about North Korea, Keyori? Is that headline news where you guys are? I mean, I don't know how you like stuff like that that's specifically targeted at the United States. Is that something that makes headlines over there in the UK, or does nobody care about the States at all?
I mean, like I think it probably would if I was to pay more attention. But I probably only look at the not probably. I only look at my like local news.
Oh, I see. You're not a news. You're not a news buff, a political junkie like we are.
Not particularly, no.
Oh,
I play video games and make videos. So when you ward the Dragon Bush, not Dragon Bush, when you ward the Dragon area, if you put it, what's going on here?
We're diving it. We're going big. We're going big.
We're going big. We're going home. Watch out.
I'm not going home.
Hard to go home. Let's have a look. What's going here?
Woo!
Half flash comes out.
Feels good. All right, what were you saying about that ward? Sorry, that was that whole tunnel visioning and killing somebody.
That's cool. Right, so you've warded the slope, and that's a good place. But you also want to give yourself vision of dragon. So if you look in the lane, there's like a little shrub bush that I ward on top of, and that provides both like vision of the just inside their jungle a little bit and the dragon.
Oh, okay, I see. Is it this?
Yeah.
You can't select stuff in this game, damn it.
If you hover over it, and I'll get it on the stream eventually. Yeah, that thing there that you had your mouse on, yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's Vi. Oh, what's she doing?
You should see the string around Rosie, Riven, and Lee Sin are doing.
Oh, now you're there. You're gonna give it to him, silly little Lee Sin, Jackie Chan wannabe motherfucker. All right, so well, I don't know. Are you guys scared of North Korea? Because I'm a little scared of North Korea. They crazy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah. They've been getting crazier too lately.
Oh, missed my ult. Oh, Ash, you fucked. I'm running. Oh no, I walked into the stun. Oh wow.
Oh my god.
I'm scared. I was actually reading about North Korea on Wikipedia at work. Because after I saw that article talking about how there is a little bit of satellite coverage on Google Maps now, so you can actually look at North Korea, I was looking at it and then I got curious and started reading about all their history and rulers and stuff. It's scary stuff. The Kim family just owns everything. The Kims. I'm scared, Josh.
You're scared?
I don't want to live in a country where the Kims own it because they don't really care about feeding their inhabitants.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they don't like free internet. Those are two things that I'm very fond of: food and internet. I think Keyori will back me up on that.
Yeah, I probably can live without either of those.
Yeah, I agreed. You know what? Forget about this Ash. I'm gonna roam. I want to kill stuff. Josh, let's gank some people. Let's give it to him.
She should be fine on her own. I mean, they don't have their AD carry.
Right. So you killed Lisa. And yeah, this is a 4v5. This is we're picking on him. And I don't feel bad.
I know. I don't feel bad at all.
Never give up, never surrender. Take what you can, give nothing back.
Oh, we pirates now?
Yeah, of course we're Barbosa, man, he's hungry for apples. So, but that's the half of North Korea. Nothing's blown up yet, but tensions are rising.
It's such a shame. South Korea is so nice.
I know. It really is. They're so opposite of North Korea in almost every way.
They're like evil twin.
Wait, Josh, come here. I'm gonna hook him. Oh, I missed him. Oh god.
He hooked you.
Well, you know.
Don't worry, I got him. Just make sure he doesn't get away. Oh, I'm out of mana. Never mind. It's not gonna happen. I'm out of mana. Can't do anything.
I'm in trouble. Heimerdinger's.
Don't die on me. I'll protect you.
He's Heiming me.
So who is the Hon equivalent of Blitz?
Pudge, or well,
Pudge.
Devourer.
Wait, you have a Pudge in Hon?
Yeah, his name's
Pudge.
His name's Devourer, but he's exactly the same as Pudge. He's like a direct port. Well, Some of the fine tuning is a bit different, but oh, I missed.
The Blitz is definitely. I don't know. I think he's better than Pudge.
Oh yeah, dude, he's so much burst.
I think he's better and easier to play than Pudge.
Yeah.
Pudge is kind of hard to play in Han.
You're dead.
Unless you're good with him. You're dead.
I'm dead too. Wow, that buys a lot faster than I. Oh, I'm still on gray boots. That's why I'm so slow.
Yeah, she popped Ghost, which is scary on Vi.
If only I had sight.
I gotta change my Blitz build now that they changed Sight Stone. Because I used to
No,
get the mana piece a little bit. I need to get the Sight Stone faster. I gotta get the health.
Oh no, I gotta
not
protect.
build that mana thing.
Oh, the mana thing's sick. I love this item. It's so good once the game goes on late, like they always do.
Maybe for your games, yeah. I
Yeah.
understand.
You gotta remember, I'm not level 30 yet, man.
Yeah.
It's
I
still...
remember back when every game lasted like an hour. Jeez.
Yeah. Like, you can't even get your team to push if you ask. You're just like, come on, push. And you get like, you trade 3 for 1, and they're like, oh, let's go back to the jungle, guys. Yeah, the dragon looks tasty. I'm like, no, their inhibitor looks tasty. And they're like, oh, come on.
Yep. I just get scared trying to push my team because they do crazy stuff and they just split up and then they get too excited. They see, oh, low hero, and they just dive in through like all the towers.
Knock if you buck.
Well,
and they buck.
And then we end up losing. So I don't know. I get scared when we push with my team. I'm scared of my team.
Perfect Dragon Ward, perfect.
You like that? All right, good.
Yeah.
We're all learning. This is good. We're reporting on the world and how to play League of Legends. So let's talk about here. What is it? I gotta pull up the political cry. So advocates for gun control take the streets, Josh. They're marching the Capitol. They don't want guns, and they don't want them now. What's going on with the march?
It was basically in protest. I think while we were on break, one of the days was like anti-gun day or whatever.
Oh.
And which was funny in the sense that in like the other like space there were like a bunch of gun conventions and everything, and like they held that like in protest to the day and everything.
Oh,
I think that day like.
So it was basically just gun day.
Yeah, it was basically gun day. That's what it basically turned into. I think like 3 people ended up like getting injured from like just guns.
Like,
at these like conventions and everything where they were doing them.
Vi's on a rampage.
This Vi is getting pretty nasty. I'm starting to get a little.
yeah,
We're losing this 5v4 right now, Josh. This is bad news.
Oh wait, this power's up.
I'm coming. Be
my
careful.
Vi is good. Vi is like my favorite champion.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if you get like if Vi gets behind, she's like really bad, but if she gets ahead, then like, game over. She's so strong. Even if you just build like a HP on her, she just does so much damage.
Oh no!
Can you
cooldown.
Oh no.
The thing about Blitz that makes him so much stronger is that he has so much mana. Like in Han, like you throw 1 hook and then you're out of mana.
Oh shit.
I just slowed Leona. Oh, big ash arrow!
Oh no! Kill Vi!
Get him!
We're barely winning.
Yeah, you probably don't want to ever pull Leona. That's one thing in League. If you pull Leona, you've done her job for you. Like,
Come here, Lee Sin.
Oh
no! Get him, Ash! Good. At least you did something. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's so bad.
This is rough. Yeah, Leona. I don't like Leona and Fiora too. I played a game the other day where I kept hooking the Fiora and like she just kept killing me because she just got a free ult every single time. It made me so upset.
Yeah, Leona counters Blitz, and like yeah, as I said, if you pull Leona, you've saved her a spell. So once you start retreating, she's free to use her E and just jump straight back onto you.
All right, good call. I still don't know exactly what every hero does, so I kind of just hook whoever's in my face and laugh at them.
I was doing that until I hooked a Nunu a couple times, and my team yelled at me.
Nunu. Stupid Nunu. Why can't I buy the Sight Stone?
I don't know, he probably have full inventory.
Yeah.
Well, I do,
gold.
but I mean,
There you go.
why? Seriously, why can't I buy it?
What the hell? Yeah, I'm watching this now. I've just caught up.
Am I retarded?
No, what the fuck? It's like bugged.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go... Oh, because I'm not at the shop, that's why. I guess I canceled my port.
I'm not the show.
Oh my goodness me.
It's early, man. That's why we do this show in the morning.
Because I'm not the chef.
That's why I was just like, am I fucking retarded or something? I mean, I am, but in a different manner. All right, good. I got my sight stone. We got this, guys. I'm gonna start winning now. So, gun appreciation, and I like some of these signs too. Stop the massacre. Ban assault weapons now. And I love the way that sign's drawn. It's just so graphic and depictive of guns. I'm getting tired of hearing about assault weapons though, because I don't know what that means. I don't think anybody else knows what it means. Come here, Heimer. Oh, you little bastard.
Assault weapons? Well, they're talking about assault rifles and everything.
Assault rifles.
Yeah.
Assault rifles. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some people just think that it means machine gun.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's an assault. I'm not sure if I'm not sure what the classification is.
Exactly.
On, like,
assault weapon
gun.
Isn't really like
well,
a
they
classification
know,
of weapons.
Basically, you know what an assault rifle is when they're trying to talk about it. It's assault rifle. It's like an SM, like G, or like a modified AK, like 47. That's not like it's not a handgun. Basically, it's like what you're trying to picture in your head.
So anything but a 9 is what you're saying. Little 9mm. All right.
Sure.
So anyway, I don't know. I'm getting tired of the word. It's a buzzword that doesn't really have a great meaning. Protect children, not guns, Josh. And this reminds me of we were talking about this the other day. Do you watch The Daily Show at all, Keyori? Is that something that happens there?
We get old reruns.
Oh, okay.
So
How old
by the
are
time
they?
they're over here, they're really not relevant.
How far behind? Or is it like a couple
Well,
weeks, or is it like your seasons behind?
Probably like a whole season, maybe. Like I watched an episode and I know it wasn't relevant because they were talking about the royal wedding, and I was like, well, that's
Yeah, that was a while ago.
old.
Well, yeah, there was an episode the other day, and they talked about that. There's that group of people in America, the NRA lovers, that they just want their guns, they want their bombs, they don't want their freedom infringed. They just want to be able to make and do whatever they want in terms of weapons. And they don't really know why. That no one can really understand why they're so proud of owning guns, because they're really just guns. But there's a group of folks that are going to go out in Idaho, and they're going to make like a 200 square foot perimeter of no tyranny land, where ultra conservatives can own whatever kind of guns they want, and they can just jerk it to freedom. I don't know what they're going to do. Josh,
I think the real issue is mental illness when it comes to like the guns, because I mean, like, obviously guns don't kill people; it's the people who are using the guns.
Okay.
And,
Oh
like,
wait, too late.
it's on cooldown. I smacked Heimer. Yeah,
like
I
I
think
could
you're exactly right.
I could own a gun. I play first-person
God.
shooters. I don't want to go out and shoot people because I am not mentally ill. However, mentally ill people do want to go out and shoot people because they are mentally ill. So I think people are really missing the issue.
Yeah. Did AC? Did you catch the Daily Show where they talked about it, where they had Bob Costas on?
I don't know.
Because he made a pretty good point where he was talking about the gun culture basically in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
And
I think I did, but I don't remember it that well. Oh my god, the fucking answering machine is in the office.
but yeah, Bob
Hello,
Costas-
Poopy.
Should I come back?
Teamfight's going. Leona with the double kill.
I'm gonna go in here and maybe die, but I'm gonna get this Heimer dinger. What is that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
World's longest message. That telemarketer was really serious about giving some wonderful news to my mom. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but
Get
Josh,
this meat.
I sold my
You guys have
biscuit.
problems over there with telemarketers. We don't get that shit.
You guys don't have telemarketers?
We do, but just not to that extent. Like, they won't leave messages like that. That was like blew my mind.
They won't
She
go
wanted your
on
D.
for
She was like,
15 minutes.
"Bye."
I don't know. I wasn't really listening. I heard something. I don't know if it was actually a telemarketer because my mom's a business owner, so she gets all sorts of calls from people. So who knows? Who knows? But Jesus. So my apologies. I remember what we were talking about. Between that and the team fight.
Oh, no, the Daily Show with about gun control and Bob Costas being a guest.
Okay, yeah. I did see some of that where, yeah, he was sort of defending that whole thing about like he went on like a halftime of that one football game. I forget which one it was, and he made a little plea. And of course, Fox News, they went apeshit. They were just like, I don't turn on football to hear Bob Costas tell me about guns. I turn on football to watch these people manhandle each other. So he kind of talked about it a little bit, and I'm struggling to remember exactly what his points were, but he did talk about the gun culture in the NFL. And I think he was sort of making that point of what you were talking about before, Josh, when we brought this topic up of, you know, maybe this isn't going to fix all of the issues, but you got to just start somewhere. You got to start chipping away at the problem.
Why are they not going for that tower? What the hell? There's like no one under it.
Because I'm big and scary.
But yeah, his basic points were like there's a big gun culture issue in the NFL, and like point where I think they were talking about the Colts, and like one of the coaches asked who owns a gun basically on his team, and I think Bob Costa said like 75% of the team raised their hand, and yeah, so there's like this culture where like you need to have a gun and everything. It's like I'm going out and I need my wallet,
not buy that item.
My cell phone, and my gun. And and he also
at that Iceborne gauntlet.
He also commented on he also commented on how like in the course of NFL you take a lot of hits to the head and you can suffer like brain trauma and you can have concussions and everything, and they should take a look to see how that affects your judgment and everything. And if 75% of these people own guns and they're having concussions and they're just in a sport that's physically, you just have to be aggressive, there's like no sympathy at all.
Yeah,
it's like what does that do to you and the effects it has, and should they still own guns like late into the career or after a concussion and everything and head trauma?
Right. And that's really an interesting thought of that kind of like, you know, these are people that are paid to be aggressive. That's what their job is. You want to hit them kind of as hard as you can and take people down. That's the whole point of the game. So you're right. You're sort of mixing these naturally aggressive people and firearms. And I think Stuart brought up, what was it, Plaxico Burress from the Giants, that he was wearing sweatpants. And he had a gun in his pants, like tucked in the waistband, and then he shot himself in the leg by accident. Total badass. Only in America, right, Keyori?
Only in America. So I'm just gonna say for that play a little bit, you just left Lux to die.
Yeah, I did. I was not gonna sacrifice myself for Lux.
I saw it.
Okay, in like the hierarchy of the things, like if a carry is going, oh, that was a really nice dash arrow. You should always try to peel for your carry, try and get whoever is on them off them, and if that means that they escape and you die, that is much better than the carry dying than you die.
Yeah, this Lux isn't carrying shit.
But
I know what you're
What's
saying.
that score? I can't see a score.
Yeah, Lux was the one who was AFK.
Yeah, Lux was like
beginning. Yeah.
level 2 versus the level 6 Lee Sin mid.
Ah, okay, so I didn't know that because I can't actually see like.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean though, but in these games I don't sacrifice myself for anyone except
you guys can end it. You guys can end it now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Boom. Speaking of guns, alright, we're gonna have to play a Dominion or something, Josh. We still have way too much to talk about.
Dominion, I'm ready.
Josh is ready for some Dominion.
I'm ready.
Alright, good. Now we just won our 5v4. We really put him down.
Yeah, guys, you really did well there.
We tried so hard.
Well done. Tip.
V got a little out of hand, killing our teammates.
3-3 and 10 blitz. Number 3
the
for
Heimerdinger,
assist.
what's up though?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I was
you gotta give their team like honor though, because like for real, we're playing a 4v5, and as far as I could see, they weren't really raging at all.
Let's see. I've never honored anyone except Josh here. I'll make him an honorable opponent.
I'm gonna honor Heimerdinger, yeah.
Oh, I did it for Vi.
Okay. No, I don't like that person. You're picking on me.
They were taking
Scumbags.
Scumbag. So, alright.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about gun control to death. I don't want to beat the dead horse, but I really just wanted to look at these pictures. Stop the NRA. Stop them now. But I do want to move on to some very homosexual territory, guys. It's going to get steamy in the Boy Scouts. They're rethinking repealing the ban on homosexuals from their organization, both in the leadership level and in the membership level. You know, this also extends to the Scouts. You know, the little 10-year-old sprouts that might be into the dong. They might be all welcome to the Cubs.
Well,
Keyori,
good.
do you guys have Boy Scouts?
We have something very similar, and like over here, it's just completely so strange that like, how do I begin? So to us, it's completely alien that you guys have completely separate rights for gays. It's very confusing for us to hear about you have separate rules for people who, you know, are a different sexuality for something they can't control. Like, you know, in our country, if there's something you can't control, then you're not going to be hindered legally by this. So,
it is kind of strange, isn't it? Look at these homosexual scouts walking around here. Ooh.
Yeah, like who do they think they are? You know, they didn't choose to be this way. Let's completely. It just blows it blows our mind as a country to think that, you know.
Yep.
You know, if these if someone loves the Boy Scouts, like I'm sure the people who are at the very high levels of it, you know, they're really passionate, and like if they're gay. Do you really think they would, like, if being gay was a choice, do you think they would, like, choose, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to suck some dick instead of, you know, doing what I love? Like, it's really not, it's a very confusing issue because it seems so silly to us. Like,
yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. If it was truly just a choice, don't you think a lot of these people that really wanted to be Eagle Scouts would just, you know, choose the pussy?
Yeah, like, for sure. Like, if, it just I can't even begin because it's just such a confusing issue. I really have no words. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you want to get angry, go to the Wall Street Journal online and read some of the comments that these Americans post. It's quite titillating listening to them argue or reading them argue.
It hurts my brain. It hurts my brain.
Bigger and bigger issue. Yeah.
It hurts my brain.
The saddest part about this whole thing about letting the gays come into the Scouts, it's not motivated by moral integrity. It's motivated by money. Some of the big backers of the Scouts, I believe Intel was one of them, and there were a couple others that said, you know what, we're not going to give you guys any more money until you let homosexuals into your organization because we don't think this is right. So unless they change these rules, the Scouts are going to run into significant financial issues. And that's really why they're doing it. And now, of course, the advocates for homosexual segregation, of course, the advocates for keeping the Boy Scouts traditionally a man's club, are upset because, well, these corporations are bullies. It's a classic case of corporate bullying. Mitt Romney style, right, Josh?
Yep.
The bullies are back.
Bullies.
Son of a bitch. Hold on, I'm going to go unplug the phone. You guys take it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, pick it up and put it down.
But yeah, this has become a big issue just the past like couple years. It's become blown proportion with like Chick-fil-A and the Boy Scouts. Like I didn't really know.
Chick-fil-A thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know Chick-fil-A was like
Chick-fil-A anti-gay.
Yeah, I didn't know that until it was like I knew they were religious, but I didn't know they were that core.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that whole thing got really blown out of proportion. That was one of those classic liberal maneuvers of, yeah, this is wrong, let's make a stink about it. And it ended up making more people that were anti-gay come out than the forces of people that were protesting the gayness. So the anti-gay people ended up just boosting. Chick-fil-A made money off of that. You know, more people came in to show their support. So it was one of those things where all the people that were upset by it would have. The best way to handle the situation would have been to not react and just say, you know what, Chick-fil-A, you're not worth any of my time. I'm going to exercise my right as an individual in a free market society to not support your services and not buy your stuff. That's the most they can do. Instead, picketing just brought more people into the stores and brought Chick-fil-A more money. So, classic Americans not thinking it through, Josh, tax return style.
Oh man, what are we gonna do?
I'm playing Sona. Don't stop me.
Only you can hear me, Sona. What masterpiece shall we play today?
Get wrecked.
Shit. Okay,
So-
I'm gonna go Jax with Smite.
So classic bullying, but yeah, anti-gay stuff in America is insane. The biggest problem, and I get bored at work. I had nothing better to do than to scroll through all of the mindless chitter chatter that the American anti-queeros are really upset about. And a lot of them seem to equate homosexuals with pedophiles, because their big thing with this, well, would you trust your kids in a camp in some remote place with a gay scout leader? And a lot of people are like, well, yeah. I mean, there are men that lead Girl Scout troops. It's not like a girls-only organization. There are men involved in that organization, grown, straight, well, presumably straight men around a lot of young girls. They don't just have sex with all the girls. You know, gay people aren't just like, oh, look at all these little kids, how can I contain my boner? You know, that's gay and pedophile are totally mutually exclusive things. They can be one and the same, just as you can be a straight pedophile, but I don't think there's any correlation between liking butt and being a pedo.
And in 50 years' time, we're going to look back, and everyone who was anti-gay is just going to be frowned upon. In the same way that people who are, like, anti-black rights look back on now and think, well, that was disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, these people are on the wrong side of history. And in 100 years, they're going to be looked back on with disgust. Like, how could you do this to a fellow human? So, yeah.
No, I completely agree with you.
Yep, I agree, too.
It's laughable. And a lot of this stuff is just... So trivial. I mean, really, the Boy Scouts, all in all, I mean, who gives a shit about the Boy Scouts? I don't. I guess it's a big deal to some people, but I mean, I feel like that whole thing is kind of run its course. Like, oh, Boy Scouts, let's learn some good old-fashioned... I remember one time I was at a party at our friend Carlo's house, and some obscure friend of his parents was there, and I overheard him talking. He was all upset because his son got into some little tiff online with somebody on AOL Instant Messaging, you know, and the kid's parents called and was like, your son's really mean to my picking on the cyberbully. And he was just like, you know, all a kid needs to grow up right is a pocket knife and a handkerchief. I'm just like, okay. And he's just like, and a bicycle. I'm just like, great. He's like, there's no legitimate reason for instant messaging software. And the guy he's talking to was like, well, I mean, we use it in my office. It's a pretty effective communications tool. And the guy was like, well, all right. I mean, maybe if you're in an office. I was like, oh, shut the fuck up, man. Like,
yeah, well, the whole shift from like kids going outside and doing stuff has turned to people sitting in front of the computer a lot.
I'm on the computer a lot.
Yeah, so that's a lot of people are. A lot of teenagers are with Facebook and everything. It's just shifted. It's like people used to be outdoors. I know my parents, they said that when they were in school, they would go outside after school. They play football, they play tag, they do jailbreak.
Oh, good times.
We used to do that sometimes. People don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I was playing Jailbreak and Tag. That shit was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
But now it was off the hook.
Yeah, dude. But kids, like nowadays, don't really do that. You see them out sometimes, but
Call of Duty now.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty or Facebook.
I bought Call of Duty, and I have to say, this is probably one of the worst games I've played in my entire like gaming life. I can't believe this is so popular.
I really am not into the Call of Duty thing. I don't find it enjoyable.
It was so dumb.
But yeah,
so boring. I was like, well, cool. I'm gonna go back to big boob women fight.
it's like too realistic in the sense of like, oh, you get shot once and you die. It's like, all right, so that just incentivizes people to sit there and go, oh god, he walked by, I shot him in the back, woo, victory! Like, all right, and then, oh, you kill 10 people, you get to call in like a mass bombing, and like, what the it's just stupid, man. It's dumb. Fuck that game. That's why we're playing League of Legends. I want to switch it up though, guys. Some real nerdism. Let's talk about this Warcraft movie. It lands the source code director Duncan Jones of Legendary Pictures. I am beyond excited. I have been a fan of the Warcraft series since Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, World of Warcraft. It enveloped many years of my life, Josh's life, and I'm sure Keyori's as well.
Too much. I don't even care to admit how much that game...
I mean...
Not so much took up, more ruined my life.
Yeah. That game was the tits, and
it was pretty awesome.
Everything, I even find the lore, I've read a couple of the World of Warcraft books, I find the lore to be fascinating. It's really, really well crafted, it's not too cheesy. What I really want to know is what's going to be the plot of this movie. Is it going to be a new story? Is this going to be like classic Onyxia, like War of the Ancients? What are we talking here?
Yeah,
I would love to see the rise and fall of Arthas, personally, in a film.
Yeah,
that would be so cool because everyone knows what would happen, like what's happened before and after, but it'd be really cool just to see like the kind of
cinematics, for the frost dragons and
That's
That'd
true,
be really
actually.
cool.
I hadn't really thought about how awesome Arthas is, but graphically, and that's actually one of the. I read the which is the one? Is it Rise of the Orcs? Is that the Thrall book? I think it's that one. Well, I read the one about Thrall, and I read the one about the Wrath of the Lich King, and yeah, that Arthas lore is really fascinating with the whole corruption.
Like he's probably one of the like most intricate characters like in the entire lore. Like just so much history and like a lot of things revolve around him as well. And it was just really cool to play a game and know a history of a character, and to then go into the game and be able to, you know, interact with this character who you've like followed through these games. It was just, do you know, because like they had the Frozen Throne and all of that, and that led up to, you know, his like demise and his corruption. And then World of Warcraft came out, and you kind of just forgot about him. Like, oh yeah, Arthur. So World of Warcraft. Oh yeah, Burning Crusade. And then Wrath the Lich King. It's like, oh yeah, what's he been doing all this time? Oh my god! Like, and the cinematics just really.
Yeah,
I'm so excited because
they were
Warcraft,
titillating.
Yeah, the
Blizzard's
cinematics
cinematics
Blizzard
are
are
beyond.
just amazing.
They're beyond anything that there is right now. Like, whoo, shivers, getting shivers.
AC,
Yeah.
you cap it. I'm fighting, cap it. Oh
I'm
my
capping.
God.
I'm capping.
Okay,
And
good.
I have to admit, I'm also a big fan of Lady Sylvanas. She is one of my favorite characters.
Oh yeah.
And she plays an intricate role in that whole thing. I just love I love it. I think one of my favorite parts of that book is when they have the remains of Kel'Thuzad, and they've been ordered by whoever, whichever big god guy it is. Is it Archimond? I don't think it's him. I think it's one of the others. Anyway, so they have Kel'Thuzad's remains. They need to go resurrect him in the Sunwell, and the only way to carry him is for Arthas to go dump out his father's remains and put Kel'Thuzad's nasty old body in that beautiful little jar. And of course, you know, that like is the ultimate symbolism of his change, because he desecrates the corpse of his father.
Yeah.
And then as they're marching there, he encounters the Night Elf defenses and whatever Sylvanas' name was before she turns into the Banshee. She's there, and then he turns her, but he turns her into a Banshee, so she's not a mindless drone. He can still control her, but she has her own thought. I love that shit.
They like imprisons her like physically and
yeah, exactly.
leaves her to rot inside of the coffin for like years on it. Like you can't have the story of Arthas without Sylvanas, and I really liked what she does. Like I did not like Cataclysm. I really feel that was just a bum move.
I never even played it.
As far as her lore, I really like that she was becoming more badass, and like she was like self-spoken, you know, because you know she escaped Arthas's clutches. But the fact that like after Arthas like dies as the Lich King, she takes on his what are they called, his Valkyries. Like she kind of employs his Valkyries, and it's kind of like the final like, hey, fuck you, Arthas. Like all your people who used to work for you now work for me.
Yeah. And that's actually how the Lich King book starts with, you know, it starts out with her in the laboratory, and they're working on making the thing. Like, I like, oh shit, I'm gonna die here. I really found it fascinating that, to understand the differentiation between Undead and Scourge, which I never understood. The Scourge are Arthas's mindless minions, and the Undead are like rescued Scourge that have minds of their own, like the Banshees. And I thought that was really interesting, because I never really understood the difference, to be honest.
Yeah, like the undead are like the ones who she managed to like rescue, because obviously she took pity because she'd been there herself.
Right.
So,
and I also liked, because they talked about, I always wondered what the deal with Capital City was, and of course that was where Arthas grew up when it was Capital City. That was the one that he was, his father was the king of. Well, I forget his father's name now. And, you know, of course, Uther. I love some good Uther lore. I always think about Uther Party. Nothing like some good Uther lore. He was like the hand of the king or whatever, so he helped train Arthas when he was a sprout, and all that good stuff. Oh, so much good stuff, reminiscent about, I don't know, the Undercity is cool. Anyway, so we don't know. They said the script is super secret. We have no clue what it's going to be about.
Tirana. An interesting thing about Arthas, in Warcraft 3, when you're moving around, he says, "For my father, king," which is also a quote from Jarvan.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Small world. Small world.
Well, I mean, there's undoubtedly, obviously, some of the characters in League of Legends are obviously based off the models of some people. Like,
yeah.
Garen is definitely a changed rip of Arthas's model.
Yeah, that kind of holy paladin, the Omni Knight. But you know, it's okay. That's one of the things I like about Warcraft 3, because not only or Warcraft in general, not only is the lore great, not only was Warcraft 3, in my opinion, one of the greatest multiplayer games ever. Josh and I both really liked the interface, the whole, like, the clan channels, you know, your clan shamans, all that stuff. I really, really liked that. It was just really sleek, really easy to use, really just top-notch interface. And then, of course, World of Warcraft, the game that redefines the MMO genre.
Well, they created the MMO genre. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say it that way. That's kind of true. And then, of course, Warcraft 3 is the platform that popularizes the MOBA concept. I mean, the idea of the MOBA existed before then with Aeon of Strife, but it was nothing. It was just a little shitty custom game that wasn't balanced. Now we have, you know, this legit, an entire genre gets based off of a game created on the Warcraft 3 engine. It's just such a, it's like the historical document, you know? It's just like the...
Like, online gaming as it is today, it rests, you know, hugely on what Blizzard have done for it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it's a little bit mind-blowing when you think about how much an impact that one game had.
That one company has made for, like, you know... Well, considering it, like, let's think about MOBAs in general in esports. So we got the big titles, which are StarCraft, which is obviously from Blizzard itself, and then before that was Dota All Stars, which obviously came from Warcraft 3. So, and the first ever Dota competition was run by Blizzard. They said, like, oh hey, you know, it's a really cool mod you got here. We'll at BlizzCon, we'll do our competition for it.
Hey, Blout's pretty cool mod you got going on. We're not going to take it very seriously.
Cool. But it was really cool of them to, you know, like, realize that there is this mod and people are serious about it, and, you know, to host it at BlizzCon.
Right.
That was a pretty big thing.
That's true. No, it is true. It does show that Blizzard is an open-minded firm on that front. So you're absolutely right. But I'm beyond stoked, guys. So in terms of details for the movie itself, I think they're going to start filming in 2013, looking at a 2015 release. So it's still a ways off.
Wait, is it live action or
live action?
CGI?
Yep, no,
oh,
live action.
Oh, wow.
They said it'll cost about $35 million to make, and oh wait, no, that's
like a year's
good.
subscription.
Yeah, so
subscribers.
I don't know. You know, the only other thing that we've had that's at least a little bit similar on this front is the that South Park World of Warcraft episode, and of course that was a little bit different, but it did feature World of Warcraft in that kind of light. So it'd be interesting to see how live action translates. I don't know. I have kind of mixed feelings about live action stuff from video games or animated type things.
I think Blizzard will do it well. I mean, I think we've had a lot of live action game movies which have been terrible. You know, you've had Mario Brothers and Tomb Raider.
The Mario Brothers. I love that movie. It's so
Mortal
weird.
Kombat. That game, that film movie was just so bad. Like, oh my, the Mushroom Kingdom looked like a shitty back alley. Like, it was so bad. Like, what? Why was Bowser a legit dinosaur who, like, grew? Oh my goodness.
Dinosaur.
Like, oh.
Yeah, Koopa's hair. They make the Koopa. He's just a little mohawk in his hair. Yeah. It's so weird.
And the Goombas.
The Goombas.
So, oh yeah, you know, in Mario. Oh yeah, the Goombas are like meant to be like 1 foot tall. Yeah, let's change that up a bit. Let's make them like 9 feet tall. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know why they made the Goombas so big.
Was this approved by Nintendo in any way? So bad.
Speaking of Nintendo, they're having some pretty serious problems right now. You know, sort of like the problem that Apple is having here. The handheld gaming market is pretty much saturated. I don't think there's really much more that you can do in terms of a handheld device like that, unless there's some sort of like a virtual reality type thing. So, you know, they just keep tweaking, you know, oh, Game Boy DS3, all this kind of bullshit, and it's at the point now where pretty much everybody who wants a Game Boy's got a Game Boy, and I know Nintendo posted really crummy earnings. I don't know, is Nintendo public, Josh?
Maybe on, it's Japanese, so it may be on the Japanese stock market.
Oh, but it's not tradable in America?
Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've got my 3DS right next to me. I've recently got a Pikachu 3DS XL, which is like the latest model, only because I didn't have one. I was like, oh, I'll get a Pikachu one. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't really play it a lot. I mean, I really do think like most of my gaming online is League of Legends. So yeah, I mean, they're remaking Wind Waker. But again, like that's kind of like a filler. They did an announcement where they said, you know, we're doing this new Zelda and we're going to completely change the format. We're completely changing up. We're making this like brand new concept for Zelda. It's going to be nothing like you guys have seen Zelda before. But we have like underestimated how long it's going to take for us to make it. So in the meantime, we're going to release Wind Waker HD. So you know, I'm excited for that. And I have to say, Nintendo probably do have like of all the innovation, I think they really do exceed expectations.
I mean, talk about redefining the gaming market. They did it with the Wii, that whole motion thing. That was started off by Nintendo with their amazing controllers. They've done some great things for video games, and of course the Mario franchise, all that stuff. But they're just an old horse in a modern society. I don't know. They need a plan, and I don't know what their plan is.
I'm so looking forward to the new Pokemon, though. I do have to say.
That is true. Even though, I mean, Pokemon is still carrying that. Their old stuff is so good that it's able to carry them for a significant period of time, but their growth is shrinking. They need something new and crazy. They need the next big Pokemon, the next thing that's like, Pokemon cards! Oh my God, $20 for a little piece of cardboard! Ah! Like, you know, that they need something like that. They need a blockbuster. Get these kids excited. Get them off the couch and get them trading Pokemon cards again.
I really think that was their last big like breakout thing. They had the like obviously they got Mario and Link, like the Zelda series, or they got the Metroid series, and then they bought the Pokemon series. But it's kind of like, what are you guys gonna do next? Because they do keep rehashing all these things. As much as I do love them, I do want to see like a new hero, like this new Nintendo hero, and that'd be good.
So, something else we can bring up here, out of sort of curiosity of what Keyori thinks about it, immigration. That's another problem we're having in America that is really a hot button issue with who should be allowed to move here, what should they have to do to be able to move here, and what do we do with all the people that hopped over the border between Texas and Mexico that aren't paying taxes and don't live here on paper. So let's kick it off to you first, Keyori. What's immigration like in your country? Is it difficult to become a British citizen?
Well, I know that there are a lot of British people probably feel the same way as like Americans do. Most of it, like in the same way that you get Mexicans, we get a lot of people from the Middle East come over here, and a lot of British citizens do not like it. I mean, obviously they won't openly come out and say it because obviously it's racist, but you know, there is a large chunk of the community does not agree that we have such a huge, you know, Asian settlement. I mean, over here, so you guys use the term Asian to describe, like, you know, people of Korean, Chinese, Japanese ethnicity. Yep. We over here use that phrase to describe people of, like, Middle Eastern ethnicity or whatever. Okay. And, yeah, a lot of people over here do not appreciate that. We, apparently in the 70s, we were very lax on it, and it's kind of like, people that I don't know how to say it without me coming across racist. This is just me explaining how it is. Like, I really have no problem with them. So from what I can understand is in the 70s we were really lax on letting people into our country, and obviously, you know, people have kids, people have relatives, but it seems that people from those areas tend to have a lot larger families than we do. So people are kind of annoyed. It's like, oh, who are they to come over here into our country and, you know, live here and blah blah blah, taking our jobs? And well, at the same time, I'm like, well, you know, they got the British citizenship, like, so they do technically live here. So it doesn't matter where their families come from. But as far as people coming into the country now, no idea. Like, a lot of people still do come from asylum seekers, I guess, is probably our issue. People seeking asylum from persecution come here.
Yeah, well, we have a similar type thing. Of course, the racism aspect is there as well. There's a lot of traditional Americans that just, the whole thing, they're coming in and taking our jobs. Exactly. That, you know,
someone just said it in the chat as I was saying.
Kind of a bullshit argument, because really, in most, especially in America, they're doing jobs that Americans don't want. You know, the traditional thing is Mexicans, you know, the term beaner, because they pick beans. You know, they tend to work in fields and jobs that are very manual labor intensive, because they'll work for half of minimum wage, and they actually work harder than Americans that we would pay minimum wage for, because to them, you know, if they're not legal, so if they don't do their job right, whoever I don't want to say owns them, but employs them, just fire them. What the hell do they care, you know? So they work as hard as they can to make their employers happy. So really, it's almost a kind of a good thing to the American economy, because they fill jobs that Americans themselves will not do, because we feel like we're entitled to, you know, have better jobs than that.
Yeah. I think they said in the Daily Show, they're like, part of the reason why like America has such cheap food, it's because they can employ so many legal workers to do all the farms and everything. Even around here where we live, we have apple orchards and everything, and I'm sure there's some cases where they're illegal workers around here.
Well, and right now the big debate is about what do we do with the people that are here. And that's one of the big differences, I think, that you and Brittany said. Well, a lot of these people are not from Britain, but they're citizens. We have a lot of people that are here, but they're not citizens. We don't know how many there are. We don't know where they are. They don't file taxes. We don't know how much money they're making. We don't know how much money they make and send back over the border. We don't know anything about them. So the two sides are, one is, well, we need to make them all citizens so that we can start at least tracking them, taxing them, getting some money from them that we're owed because they're employed in our land. And then the other side, the right side, is much more like, no, that just incentivizes more people to hop the border, because once they get here, then you're just handing them citizenship, and that's what they want, that they're kind of bypassing by hopping the border anyway. So no, we absolutely can't do that. That'll just make the problems worse because they're stealing our jobs. So, Obama, the guy that he is, caught in the middle, trying to compromise. I don't know. Honestly, immigration is not something that I really care about. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel really bad for, like, I would hate to be the president. There's so many issues, like, and you're never gonna please everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you're never gonna.
It really is, yeah.
Like,
his first 2 years were terrible too, because like he was doing crazy stuff that Democrats didn't like, so everyone hated him. And yeah, basically now this whole legal immigration thing has come down because Obama won the election. And yeah, they looked at the statistics and everything. Republicans lost like by the immigration vote by like a huge margin. So this is their like kind of push and everything to try to recapture some votes so they have another chance in 4 years instead of being completely dominated again by Democrats and their liberal stances that they take.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why it's actually getting passed through Congress and everything, and they're actually coming up with it now. And yeah, hopefully it'll become a law where more illegal immigrants that like have lived here long enough, they'll make citizens and everything. I think they're looking at like education and what the immigrants actually did here and what they plan to do. And yeah, the whole thing is making a path towards citizenship instead of just being a legal immigrant forever.
Right, that's a good thing to point out. It's kind of funny as well that the test to become a citizen in America is apparently pretty ridiculous, and the joke is that most Americans probably couldn't pass the test to become a citizen, because a lot of it's history and stuff like that. You know, how many stars and stripes are on the flag? I bet you a surprising portion of our country couldn't answer that question accurately.
It's 50 stars, right?
It's 50 stars and 13 stripes, right?
Yep.
Why is it like what? I don't know the significance of the
50 states and 13 colonies.
Yeah, the stripes are for the original founding colonies before we became a country. Very nice. It's very nice and sweet. So yeah, just immigration. We tend to end these episodes with some sort of a crazy rant. By this point, I've gone off on a tangent about aliens or conspiracies or, you know, why we need to all drive a Prius instead of a Chevy, but I don't have anything today, guys. I've been sucked into the world of fixing computers and then being grumpy because I have to drive an hour and a half to get home after dealing with people all day. I haven't had time to ponder my crazy conspiracy theories. Aliens. They're real, man. Don't even get Josh started because Josh. That's one area where Josh and I disagree quite a bit. Is alien propaganda. I want to believe that they're out there. Keyori, maybe we'll give you the last word. What do you think about aliens?
Oh no.
Are they
What
out
do I
there?
Think about what?
Are they real?
Yeah, somewhere.
Are they in?
For
are
sure.
They...
There's absolutely no way that they can't be.
No,
Do you think? All right. Well, all right. Now, Josh, don't worry.
The big argument is whether aliens have visited Earth
Right.
or whatever in Roswell and everything.
Have humans talked to aliens?
Because I believe there's aliens, but like AC thinks like aliens have been like
we got them
here with humans, and yeah, we're testing them somewhere.
Area 51. What do you think? That's where they got the aliens and the mermaids.
He thinks Area 51's where all the aliens are.
Yep.
No,
not
there's mermaids aren't real.
There's two. There's one alive, one dead. I think the mermaids. I don't know, but aliens.
They did this like thing on this program I watched where they created like a computer generated like what an example of a real mermaid would be like, and it would have to be to survive in those conditions. It was literally like looking at an obese woman with a tail, and like it was just so funny because like there's no way it would be able to be like what we thought. Well, not what we think mermaids are implying. We think mermaids are real, but what their traditional stance of a mermaid is. A beautiful woman with a lovely tail. And the fact of the matter is, like the anatomy of a real life mermaid would be something of a manatee. And that sounds funny because people do. There are stories that people have, seen manatees and thought they were mermaids, and yeah.
I can see why. Look at that. Look at this chubby motherfucker right here. That looks kind of like a fat mermaid. I mean,
Sea cow.
Yeah, it looks like a fat mermaid with a dog face. But I see what you mean. Wow, Keyori, you just blew my mind about mermaids. Every time I hear mermaid now, every time I watch the fourth pirate movie, I'm just gonna be like, God, it's just a big old sea cow. That's all it is.
Yep.
That is what a mermaid would have to be like. It would have to be like that. It would have to have thick skin. It would have to be big and blubbery to survive in those cold, watery conditions and not, destroy their skin. Yeah,
that's true. Wow, the manatee.
Science with Keyori.
Yeah, science with Keyori. What are mermaids really? Well, they're just manatees. Sorry, they'd have to be fat. Damn. Well, I know what I'm not jerking off to tonight. And on that note, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of News Report. We'll see you again next week, 10 o'clock a.m., 9 o'clock a.m., something like that, Eastern Standard Time. Keyori, my friend, thank you so much for joining us. You were the light of our lives today. It was so much more interesting. Any closing thoughts?
Any closing thoughts? No, I hope everyone has a good new ranked season, though, because that was introduced yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yep. Josh just hit level 30.
I know. Got
Going
16
hard.
champions, playing ranked.
You're gonna get flamed so hard, dude.
So remember, guys, follow Josh on Twitter. He's up to 18. He's tweeting big. He's playing SimCity, and he's retweeting others. Make sure you follow at JD Hyper and, of course, at ZyoriTV and at Keyori Keyring as well. Give Keyori some love. Of course, check out his YouTube channel. Decidius was taken. Not the easiest thing to remember, but...
sorry about that. I didn't think that through when I decided that. Yeah.
Well, not to worry. I believe it'll pop up with but a simple Google. There it is, guys. Check it out. Check out everything else on ZyoriTV. That's it for us today, though. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. We'll see you on another cast.
Peace.